Good morning, afternoon or evening, ladies and gentlemen, Allincrypto here, and welcome back, guys, for what is going to be nothing short of another jam-packed daily market update. As always, we have a hell of a lot to get into. There's lots that has taken place over the past 24 hours. We're going to be starting things off with a little bit of macro-y stuff. We've spoken about global liquidity cycles that align with the Bitcoin 4-year cycle, that align with PMI cycles, that basically align with technically what we're looking at when it comes to the markets in our expectations that they are going to do very well. And China is now considering injecting 1 trillion yuan into the largest state banks. This is the first time since 2008. We're in an environment at the moment where central banks across the world, the manipulators of liquidity through the currency markets, are all trying to goose their economy. This is typically going to see assets do well, and we see lots of small cap stocks as well as small cap cryptos that are really positioned for this upside. Hong Kong is also pumping again today in regards to the real estate stocks. We had looked at Hong Kong real estate. We're bullish on real estate, period. And we always get the pushback. You've always got those millennials out there that want the crash to happen so they can actually buy for the first time. That's the wrong attitude to have. Go out there and get it. Don't wait for something that may never take place. It's an unfair world. Sorry to break that to you. You know, we need to work with the cards that we've been dealt. And actually, UK, I always hear people complain about UK housing prices, and there's a number of reasons to complain about them, certainly when they're giving them away to everybody in the UK for no work whatsoever. But actually, if you go to Europe, it's actually a way worse state in many parts of Europe. But that is for another video. Also, the Swiss Central Bank, got totally sidetracked there in regards to my ranting. Swiss Central Bank also cutting rates. Liquidity, we're going to be hearing from Camilla Harris. Now, I'm still of the opinion that Trump is more bullish for the crypto sector, but she did come out yesterday and said that she was going to ensure that the US remains dominant in AI, quantum computing, and blockchain. So they're both appealing to the crypto voter at this point. PayPal also is now enabling Bitcoin and crypto for 30 million business accounts. So they didn't currently have this. They had it for retail. Now they're looking to enable it for business. We're also getting news in regards to a BlackRock-backed stablecoin, or a BlackRock's build-backed stablecoin, which we're going to be covering. I'll be talking about ETF inflows, and then we'll be wrapping things up with some charts. So as always, guys, hell of a lot to get into. My job is always ever easier because there's just that much to cover in the cryptocurrency space. Just in, China is considering injecting 1 trillion yuan, $142 billion, into the largest state banks for the first time since 2008 global financial crisis. Now, we had news yesterday that they were actually going to do a number of things in regards to injecting liquidity. And we had news a couple of weeks ago that they're actually going to start dropping interest rates and goosing the economy in much the same manner that the Federal Reserve is. On the back end of this, you can see, of course, Chinese real estate doing rather well. Real estate globally, if you look at the sort of ETF or the real estate ETFs in the UK, US, wherever it is, they're all positioned for that upside. We've got news that the Swiss Central Bank is also cutting rates by 1/4 point in the third trim this year. All central banks, barring the R's, are now cutting. And ultimately, the Fed has kind of allowed people to go first. And one thing that was signaled, which I think the markets liked, was the continuation in regards to easing. This is from Coin Bureau. And what I'm going to do, guys, is go ahead and mute my mic.
So I will recommit the nation to global leadership in the sectors that will define the next century. We will invest in biomanufacturing and aerospace, remain dominant in AI and quantum computing, blockchain, and other emerging technologies.
That's enough of that. Rather interesting. Both candidates now coming out very crypto focused. Crypto is going to enable and revolutionize many sectors, and it's simply undeniable. And we're getting regulatory sort of headway in regards to this actually being enabled or allowed to take place. We have news over the past 24 hours that PayPal is now about to enable, or just enabled, Bitcoin and crypto for 30 million business accounts. Now, this is interesting because if you have a choice, and I own a number of businesses, between holding cash or, holding the pound right now is a better option than the dollar, we think, because the dollar's going to lose a lot of strength based on fundamentally what's going on with the central banks. Doesn't make... It's not. I think there's a Bitcoinization going on. We heard about the wonderful story of Bhutan, or Bhutan, however you say it. I'm sure there's going to be somebody that is probably teaches elocution lessons that will give me some lecturing on that in the comment section. Really couldn't care less. PayPal just enabled this, so this is huge news. The world is moving towards crypto. And actually, this is exciting. This is from Ethernet Labs. Now, I'm not that familiar with this project. Is Arthur Hayes behind or got something to do with this? But they have come out and said, we're excited to announce Etherner's newest product offering UST USTB will be fully backed by BlackRock Build in partnership with Securitize, who of course BlackRock are a massive investor in, enabling a separate fiat stablecoin product alongside USDE. Details below on why this is important. USDT will be collateralized by BlackRock and Securitize Build, which is their money market fund, and will function identically to traditional stablecoins. This will exist as an isolated product separate from USDE, offering users and exchange partners a new product with a differentiated risk profile to USDE. Now, this is interesting. We're going to see more of this. I personally believe stablecoins are going to be used to stave off the debt apocalypse. There's $35 trillion worth of essentially bonds out there, debt that have been issued by the government up until now that essentially need servicing, buying, and I think stablecoins are going to play a role in that. And actually, through doing that, you can give people direct access through money market funds if you tokenize them just via owning stablecoins. We really do think this is the future. Let's talk a little bit about ETFs. Just in, US ETFs bought 1,672 Bitcoin yesterday. The ETFs have a net purchase of 300,000 Bitcoins since the launch in January, steadily eating up the supply. The trend is clear, and it absolutely is. It's sad, really. We see the Bitcoin maximalists hailing what's going on at the moment, but actually this is quite counter-cyclical to Satoshi's vision. If you look at the list of the top 12 Bitcoin holders in the world, Satoshi Nakamoto, Binance, BlackRock, Fidelity, Grayscale, MicroStrategy, US government. Bhutan is actually the fourth largest country in the world, which is interesting. Bitfinex, Chinese government, Kraken, Block One, and Robinhood. It's not supposed to be like this, is it, ladies and gentlemen? So there's a lot of news that's gone on in the past 24 hours, all bullish. We're kind of really making headway in regards to the space. And of course, technically, we have 1,000,001 reasons to be very bullish. This is just a pullback in what is a broader uptrend. We have 3 technical patterns that see us go to the upside. On the smaller time frame, we were looking at a continuation pattern. When you look at the stock market, this is positioned for broader upside. When you look at Bitcoin miners, whatever it may be, and I think altcoins are in this kind of magical position at the moment. I want to show you the Mag 7 because we're actually looking at continuation from the Mag 7. I'll see if I can find that very quickly. I did look at this with my Patrons yesterday. Guys, if you are considering becoming a Patreon, now is absolutely the time to do it because, we've got 100x altcoins that we think are legitimately going to 100x. Ultimately, we're expecting a pretty fruitful year ahead of us. And if you want to get on board with that, do consider joining the Patreon and getting on board with what we're kind of looking to do. So I can't find this. I'll probably post it on my Twitter a little bit later. It was interesting. It was from Zero Hedge. I'll just go on my profile, see if it was on my likes. Here it is, actually. So this is from Zero Hedge. This is the Mag 7 coiling. This is likely going to result in continuation. You also see the S&P positioned in that manner. And we're talking about this sort of small coil up here that we saw that we were looking at going into FOMC. And we looked at the US 100. Similar thing. Look at how there she blows. I don't know why I don't have the draw on this, interestingly. We were looking at a draw here. And you're essentially seeing continuation out of that. Also bullish on Nvidia. Every reason to be bullish in regards to risk generally. You can see how this is progressing. Won't be long before this goes on and puts in new all-time highs. Target for Nvidia from this point is 184. What's crypto going to do in that environment? Bitcoin really just ran into resistance. It's going to continue to work its way up. So expect today, tomorrow, and certainly in October to take place. Don't be on the wrong side of the market, guys. There's so much opportunity right now. It's just a case of sort of seizing the day and taking part in that. And I certainly think everybody should be investing, in my opinion, which sounds insane. And it sounds irresponsible almost for me to say that. But what I mean by that is to escape the fiat systems and the kind of taxation that is levied upon you through inflation. It's the only way to kind of escape the rat race. Or it's one good way to escape the rat race. Another one is to go and create a business and obviously value and things like that. But everybody should be investing in their future for themselves, for their kids, so on and so forth. And I think right now, I'm not saying everybody should be investing in crypto, but right now, crypto, I think, offers is going to offer the best ROI and it's going to be the furthest out of a burning building, if you will. So that is it from me, ladies and gentlemen. Lots of news taking place in the past 24 hours. We're bullish. I know you're bullish. I'll see you all in the next one. Thanks for watching, guys. See you in the next.